Hey folks, it's your boy SimplySuperDave coming at you, and let's talk about some of the things that technology can do today. For one, this is one big one, folks. If you want to get rid of someone's voice today, the internet and the way things are ran because of corporate agendas, and corporations pretty much owning the internet now, which means that the government does have control. Because like we said before, who owns the government? Corporations. So if you can't pass it legally through the court systems, then you can always get corporations to make up their own personal rules to make a majority of this country do what they want them to do. One of the things they don't want is Donald Trump running for president again in 2024. I just read this story that the Democrats are introducing a bill that's going to, under the 14th Amendment, ban him from taking office again. So that would keep him from running in 2024. I am tired of this so much. For one, let me just for the publicly record, I haven't voted for a Republican nor Democrat since Obama's first election. That was the last time I voted for either party. After that, I have voted third party every election. So no, I didn't vote for Donald Trump, and I certainly didn't vote for Joe Biden. And I will never do that. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm looking at. Remember, I'm not a Democrat nor a Republican, so I'm looking at this from a outside-the-box perspective. And a lot of people can't do that because they're so committed to one side. They're looking for the narrative that fits their story, that backs them up. No one wants to read stuff that goes against what they believe. But this is what I see. I see this bill passing, for one, because the Democrats aren't the only ones that are afraid of Donald Trump. Republicans are, too. Donald Trump, I don't know how he got in there. I really don't. But he is somebody that clearly used to play the game, but wasn't part of the club. He was a donator, okay? He had money. Now he's in there, but he's not playing the game they want him to play. Dave Chappelle nailed it on the Saturday night monologue he did recently, and I encourage you to go on YouTube and look up the monologue from Dave Chappelle. But what he said about Donald Trump was dead on perfect. He came out from, the White House or whatever it says, to all the commoners, to all the people. Yes, we're doing everything you think we're doing in there. And then he goes back in and plays the game some more. So that's basically what we had Donald Trump do. He exposed the system. And Republicans and Democrats hate that. And so much that here they are, still to this day, going after the man, even before he even tries to run for president again. To me, that's encouraging. I love seeing our elected officials that are so corrupt in plain sight get scared and shaking in their boots. I hate that it's Donald Trump doing this because I'm not a Donald Trump fan, never have been. I never liked the man. But what he did as president was probably a damn good job, better than most have done in the past. And everything that I thought he would fail or take us further into, he did not. And regardless of what I think about him, I just look at the actions. Now, as far as him speaking, at least he spoke in coherent sentences. I think we've gone backwards with this president that we have now. I'm sorry, but if you would have taken our current president in his heyday, in his prime, he probably would have been a really good president. But you can take anybody and put them in the state of mind that this guy is in now, and they would not be a good president. I don't care who it is. All right? It's not a matter about the character of the man as so much as his health and his mentality. It's not his fault. It happens to everybody. He shouldn't be there. But he got there because technology was used to assassinate a person in public stature to where they didn't have to pull a trigger. They basically canceled him, attacked him on every front every time he said anything, which presidents usually do anyway. But wow, I've never seen 4 years spent committed to fighting a person in office rather than doing the jobs that they're supposed to be doing. If they would have probably been doing their jobs to begin with, none of those cities would have probably burned in 2020. Things like that could have been taken care of before they happened. But no, they spent 4 years wasting taxpayer dollars trying to ruin a man that was not part of the club. And that is just the pure, simple truth sitting right in front of us. Regardless if you like the man or not, and I don't, and if he runs for election and he gets up there and he actually is up on the ballot, I will still not vote for him. But let's say he goes third party. Wow. That could be, weirdly enough, again, it's almost like when you pray for patience, God puts you in situations where you have to learn it. It's not like you wake up with it one day. It's like if you pray for someone to get the masses to move away from the major two parties, but it's somebody that you don't like. That's how I feel. But that would be pretty cool, I guess, and I would like to see that happen. But right now, everything seems to be up in the air. But the fact that they're going after him like this with a bill, trying to do this, just makes me want him to stick in it, only because he creates fear in the people that need to have it. We're never going to get the system changed from the outside. We're going to need people in there to be working for us. And sadly, folks, I hate to say it, but I haven't seen a Republican or a Democrat do that. And Donald Trump actually did, regardless of the things he said. You know, I've never seen so many lies be thrown back and forth in my entire life over the past 8 years or so. And I'm tired of these parties working so hard, fighting each other, that they're not doing their jobs. And I think we should be upset about that. But anyway, just a little quick topic, only because I saw it and I thought how weird that the story really that bothers me is that they're trying to ban somebody from just running for office. Because are they afraid he will win? I mean, he just got beat. Doesn't make much sense to me, folks. There's a lot of fear there, and I think that he should be entitled to run again. If you have that much support, why not? And if you're going to tear after me because you think Trump is all about hate and racism and all that, then you haven't looked past the story. You're not looking at what matters. They're not going to make any laws that is going to make people get over racism. That's something you have to do on your own with people. That's something you actually deal with interacting. You kill them with kindness. You know, that's what I do. You know, anytime that I find myself in a situation where, how do I treat somebody that's different than me? I just treat them like everybody else. I'm polite to them. I say yes or no, sir, even though I am mostly older than the people I talk to these days, but I still do that, you know, and I always give compliments, and I try to understand and I listen, even if it's something I don't agree with, because maybe I can understand where they're coming from, because from their perspective, what I may be against is something that makes sense for them, and I want them to believe in that, if so. As long as it doesn't interfere in my life or cause me any harm, I could care less what you go home and believe in. If you believe in chickens, I hope you find the right chicken that, you know, benefits your life to the fullest. But I just want to be respected in what I believe, and I just look for good and evil in people. And if I see someone that's good, I could care less where that good was farmed from in their lives, whether they came from a poor background, a wealthy background, or they came from another country, or if they were just from down the street. Wherever that goodness was grown from, that's what I want to pay attention to. Anyway, folks, I know I'm getting a little off topic there, but just saying, if you're fighting to censor somebody, or to make sure someone's not being heard. Ask yourself, who are you becoming and who are you? If they're not that important, they will fade to the wayside. The more they go after him, the more popular they make him. Do you see what I'm saying? It's pointless. So before you just start slinging words you've heard about something, look at how things are now compared to then and then before. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, folks. It's about to be a wild ride in 2024, and it's already kicking off now. Politics shouldn't be this important of a role in our lives. It's time we get some people that represents the people of our country and not corporate sellouts, and get this ball rolling in the right direction for the people. We got to stop chasing the dollar so much. We got to start chasing people interest in what we need to take care of. We let the private sector, the people of this country, build its own business. Take it away from these monopolies where certain companies own pretty much everything. And I'm talking about everything from the media that you watch and the information you can look up. Just think about it. Everything you know is controlled. That's why critical thinking is so important, because you can come up with answers you can't look up on a computer or your cell phone. You can't Google the critical thought that you could possibly have. Look, all I'm saying, folks, is I believe that there's a good side in all of us and a bad side. And I think sometimes we get navigated to our bad side thinking we're on the right side. You got to think the stormtroopers always thought they were fighting for the right thing, but they never knew they were really the empire of evil. Sometimes you got to stop being a stormtrooper and let that force awaken inside of you. I have to admit, the new trilogy is a little wah, but I love the storytelling. I love how they brought some completion to the originals, and it's okay. I'm not digging on it. The prequels have grown on me more, but the Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus was so insanely awesome that it just made me love the whole thing as a whole even much more. I think that really brought it together for me. Needed that. We needed that Obi-Wan story. But seriously, folks, don't let this press media fool you. There's nothing you can do to keep these guys from passing this bill. But pay attention, because you're the one that put them there. You understand? It all changes in that booth. Stop watching the TV. Stop listening to the experts. Only you are the expert. Only you know how you feel and what you need in your life. Start looking outside the boxes. Look for third-party candidates. Look for people that represent people. Look for people that want to do better the right way. It's all in your hands, folks. Remember, a little love and laughter can conquer all the hate and fear in the world. Go be a conqueror. Don't be a victim.